We are back with another episode of Ski's Opinion. Show about everything and nothing at all with your gracious and humble host, Ski. How we doing, people? So, it's been a very eventful week. Gonna have to jump right into this. Let's get it going. It's a lot going on. It's a lot to talk about. The internet is a buzz, a blur, or whatever you want to call it. So I guess I'm gonna start with Ebro in the morning. Ebro, Rosenberg and Laura Stiles has been let go from Hot 97. What I tell y'all? What I tell y'all about Hot 97? It is this is ridiculous. They let people go left and right. Now, let the shenanigans begin. As I say, you guys, Ebro is going to be very hilarious at this point in time. So he comes out, make the announcement, hey, no more Ebro, Laura Stiles, and Rosenberg. Ebro in the morning is gone because of the politics side of who he is. And the station do not agree with him. You know, sounds like he even kind of trying to blame Trump. I don't know. But what happened, you guys? Ebro saying that he's too political, too progressive, too, this or that. I don't necessarily agree with him 100%. I would say he does have some choice views. He's a very biased person. I would say that. I've seen that over the years. Did the show need to be canceled, you guys? I'm not at liberty to really say one way or another because I have not checked out the stats of radio in New York, right? So last time I did hear, it said that Hot 97 was higher on the charts as far as radio in New York than Power, even over the Breakfast Club. So if that's the case, then you would say that Ebro in the morning was a better show or a bigger show than the Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club is a whole nother thing. We're gonna jump into speaker on Charlemagne today, even though I don't have him on the list to speak on, but I'll get back to that later as an honorable mention. There's been some things going on with him, breaking news. But Ebro said, Ebro in the morning, on YouTube's. Not on YouTube, on YouTube's. Dude, Ebro is goddamn fool. But anyway, I guess they dropped one or two shows so far on YouTube. He that last, it's the Ebro, Laura Stiles, and Rosenberg show. So, podcast on YouTube. So that's what's going on right now. Everybody's jumping the radio, the podcast, or whatever, television and podcast. And a lot of people shifting, because the media landscape is kind of shifting. So this is where it's heading. Now, we have to, what I would say is, when you mention Hot 97, you have to mention Flex. Boom, boom. Let me stop. But anyway, Flex. To add insult to injury. I told y'all before when Ebro broke down how Flex helped usher enough out the door. I'm thinking Flex, probably had a little bit of helping shoving them out the door, right? So, Flex does the morning show, you guys, which is crazy. Flex, he's not even paying attention to how they're using him. They putting you in every slot of everybody that they take up out of there. Flex Please, my brother, wake up. You are in the second place. Wake up. Open your damn eyes. Start a podcast, Flex. That's the first place where you can save yourself. Start a podcast. The writing is on the wall, man. They're about to get rid of you too. I keep telling them now, don't act like I'm a prophet, you guys. Once this come to fruition. But I've been saying that. I don't want to hear nobody say, I knew they was going to let Flex go. Because nobody been speaking on it like your boy. Your boy has been putting it out there. I gave him man goofy of the moment because of the goofy stuff that he's doing. But he's doing the goofy thing to cling on to the job. Flex ain't trying to let go. Let go. Get up off me. Let go. He's like, no. I'm holding on for dear life, right? So we gotta stay tuned for that. I think he's next, you guys. They clearing out the landscape. They're finna bring in something totally new because I think think that they're about to take these shows digital and try to pick up a bag. And the only way to do that is to get rid of the people who actually know the business and bring in a whole new slew of guys who have to learn the business before, which gives them enough time to clean up. By the time these new guys learn the business, they Billy 2, 3, 4 Billy ahead, right? Just like they use flexing them at this point. By flexing them know too much, so y'all gotta go. And y'all costing too much when y'all kind of irrelevant too at this time. You're out of touch. How you don't know Max B? If you don't know his, then you don't know none of these kids' music. Because he's from an era where you were still in the know, dude. So you done became irrelevant. I mean, I think in this case, I hate to say it, people say that we ushering out our old, but I think he aged his way out the door. As far as radio, you guys. I mean, I think people still love it, loving Flex, this and that. He got the hardcore, that hard fans, but I think that he might have aged himself out at this point. So, no more Ebro in the morning, you guys. Flex in the morning now. No, Flex, Flex 9-7. I don't know. So let me move on from that part of this, right? So we're gonna go into Dame Dash is back on his bull. My man is going on his podcast tour right now, and he's or a TV show tour, whatever it is, I don't know. But Dame is out there yapping a lot. I mean, this Diddy doc did brought out a lot of people, like I told you guys, Thanksgiving is over, but this is a Christmas feast. It's a Christmas feast. Everybody eat, y'all. Everybody's eating, even Dame. The Dame come out, he said that he felt like 50 broke the street codes and rules and ethics of the game by doing this Diddy doc, He don't see how or why this man getting pleasure out of hurting another black man. Nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear that. That's BS thing. But anyway, he taking it upon himself to figure out a way to slap a story in about Aaliyah. He talk as much as he talk about other people with Aaliyah. You use Aaliyah so much to stay relevant, dude. This woman been gone for 24 years, almost 25 years now, man. And you still living off of that story. He's still eating off of that. Get interviews and people even interested in talking to him because of you still using Aaliyah, man. to this day. And then the girl asks you questions. Like I said, even to this day, he's so irrelevant, but she's so relevant that because he was by her or a part of her. Like same thing with Jay, he gonna always be somewhat relevant because he's attached to these people who are bigger than life, right? Dame is using this to death. Oh, he shot this and that. I told you I would never go out to nobody, my friend boned. This and that. Well, nobody know if he boned Aaliyah or not. He said he didn't. There's stories out there that saying he did. There's stories out there that saying that, a lot of foul things, about that situation. But like I said, I don't want to drag too much on with that, and I'm not going to go too deep into that. I won't let that sister rest. I just want to say I think he need to stop. You got your artist, you calling her the white Aaliyah, and like you not gonna stop. You talking with your girl. What's her name? Your wife. What's her name? I don't know her name, but she was you ex-wife, best friend, or assistant or something. You switch it, whatever, dude. But you said something about her energy or aura being something with Aaliyah, and Aaliyah came to the y'all and gave blessed for him to be with Rocky. That's in there, Rocky, yeah, right? Like, how you gonna compare everybody to Aaliyah, and why are you still trying to eat? Why are you eating off this woman for all these years? Let her rest, man. He said that he would never snake his friends, but it sounded like you did. It sounded like you did. I mean, why would you be going after the same girl that he's going after? With all these females in the entertainment industry, at that time, the most beautiful women that we felt, was, I mean, at that for that point in time in our life, coming up, you got the Stacey Dashes, the Tracy Bingham's, you had the vixens of that day, of yesteryear. Let me stop. But a lot of women is aging like fine wine. Like I said, they aged down gracefully, But with all of that, why would you be looking at Aaliyah when he's trying to go at Aaliyah? But you can't say it was you first because we saw him with her first. So it wasn't you first. But he's still holding on to it, and he's gonna drag and cling on for dear life with them. I thought this conversation was gonna be more so of him trying to rag on and keep going with the 50 thing. But the Aaliyah combo about him and Jay going there at the same time kind of took over the algorithm and kept his storyline going as far as that. But like I said, I just want to say, let the sister rest, man. Let her rest, Dame. Stop holding on. No, stop living off of the memory of her to keep yourself relevant. Don't do that, brother. It looks super corny to me. As much as you want to say or talk about how other people are, that's a corny move on my part. And I want to move on from this part of the show. I want to go into 50 Cent, you guys. 50 Cent and Let's Rap About It podcast, right? Mano, Jim Jones, Fabulous, and Dave East, right? These guys are pretty slick too. They're pretty clever. Like they do things and say stuff and shout value. They have enough notoriety and I'm gonna say enough popularity that people do kind of sit in and listen to what they're talking about. So they have chances or they have times where they can come up with things that I'm gonna say come up with things that get that can go viral. Just by saying something, then them giving their take on it because as much as they are kind of popular, they still have a fan base and a following, right? They also kind of not liked as much either, right? So the stuff that these guys are doing, to me, seems very gimmicky, right? But it's very well executed. I think it's executed by a group of guys who try to pretty smart on what they're doing, and it's purposely done. I think even at this point, they're being talked about, and their show is an algorithm a little bit more than Cam's talk with Flea, and it is what it is right now. Not to compare, but I'm just saying. I think that they do. I mean, especially with Mano. That Mano is a character, man. So he got some things to say. 50. They asked a question about. I didn't say 50. They was real slick about it, but I mean, everybody knew what they was talking about. And they asked a question like, "How could you do that?" This playing dumb, like they know. We never said nothing about them, but we know who you're talking about, right? Because you're talking about the documentary thing. And like I said, everybody's Christmas feast, y'all. This is running. This might go on to the new year. But anyway, they asked this question, they give their opinions on it, and basically, slight the brother. Well, he was going to come back, right? He do. This dude is diabolical, man. And very surgical with this troll. Told y'all this dude is the troll god. He come right back, boom. Time to hit him. These guys are squatters. That's what he said. These guys are squatters. They can't even pay the rent in the building that they shooting their podcast out of, right? He said they owe $250,000 you got. And he's gonna pay off the bills, buy half of the show, or buy the building he said that they shooting the show. And they gonna hurt him. Well, my brother, I wanna say, that was very clever. That was so clever. It was so clever to me that I would have to say, and it hit hard. And then he threw a video up with Jimmy, with the old clippings about Jimmy losing his house. And Jimmy, I don't know if people know that, acting like, oh yeah, the Jim was in trouble with money at a point in time, right? Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm feeling like he was on the floor. Squatter. He can't pay his bills. He said these guys want to win the best dress contest, but can't even pay their bills. Oh my God. Oh. He said, your ass is hilarious, man. This dude said they can't pay the bill for the part of the best dress contest, but can't pay their bill. It's just like, bro, they said, what? He said, yeah, you gotta be careful around here, son. Of these broke ass niggas. It's gonna be hard to figure out who they is at first because they can be dressed real nice. If you're going off of that saying, right, as far as the broke nigga being dressed up real nice, right, then he got a point. Because them niggas, excuse me, but those guys are some of the snazziest dressing older gentlemen, I would have to say, out here, I have to say that, But are they getting money like that? They make it look good. But are they really getting it like that? Like, I don't know, Because like I said, West Band's doing a lot of goofy. Like pulling out the chains and he what's the name this and let me keep rapping at you like I'm the young old nigga, So he did a lot of goofy shit to play up like you getting so much money. Where the one who getting the money don't have to do that, right? Just by the way he move and the things he do and the small little subtle things about a person will show you who get money, right? But the person who's loud as hell, flamboyant, trying to make you see him, make sure you see him, right? That dude don't got no money. It goes back to the same thing with the loudest person in the room is the weakest person in the room, right? The one who's playing up, even that's with dressing, right? The person who put it all on, he might have everything that he on his person. That could be $4,500. He gonna have a whole $4,500 on, cause he don't really have nothing. He don't have shit, but he has to make it look like this is this is what I do every day. This is chump change. I play. No, you do. That's everything. It's everything. Yeah, I know a lot of people who do that, who've done that. They bring everything out and act like they the biggest thing in the world. But if you got it, you ain't got to. You ain't got to. I'm telling you, the moves that you making, the things that you doing, people gonna know. Or maybe they won't. And that's for the better, right? Because most rich people, you don't know that they're rich. Because they protect it. And they protect themselves, right? A fool should part with his money, right? That's the saying. So, yeah, I don't know, but that was wicked, man. That was wicked, Phil. And they going back into UC. Mano, like I said, he's the star of the group. I have to give Mano that. That man is the star of the group. And Mano said 50 helped him, get his record deal. He gonna forever be grateful. But he got to fry this dude. Look at Curly, this and that, and his insecurity. Is it over the B? You know what I'm saying? Or is you really mad about, something else? Like, Puff, do you that bad? Dude, why you do that? Why you do that, man? No. You shouldn't have done that. Like, you just woke up a sleepy Jack. And I think he jumped out the window because it's comes to my next one, his academics. Academics put the cables on. Bye bye. Those jumping cables on this dog. So he put the jumping cables on him and said, let's see if you're gonna have the same energy with 50. He don't quit. The same energy y'all have for me, I wanna see if you're gonna have that for 50. He don't quit. Well, that's why I think man don't jump out the window like, I gotta go back in that field. Even though I don't really want this smoke, they don't really want it. Because if you're paying attention to it, he the only one said something. The rest of them kind of leaving their mouth down dry. They won't mention anything. Fabulous never said anything, so it looks pretty cool for him. Dave East behind it trying to talk ish. But he really don't got no room, so he treads lightly on what he said. Jim Jones, you supposed to be the biggest. Where you at, brother? Why is it only Mano? He's not only talking about Mano, y'all. He's talking about all of y'all, to be honest. Even like I said, Fab never really says anything. He go by even with the stuff Ray J. Comes to my point, I got something from my man. This dude is something else, man. So he never responds, right, to things. The Diddy thing, all of that, party, he never responds. So he could kind of get away with that. I think he can slide under the radar with not saying anything, but the rest of them, I don't know. And I think at this point, that's not an excuse, because he's talking about all of y'all. He said you broke too fast. He said you a squatter too. You filming out of a building that you can't afford to pay the rent in. He said about you as well. So that's all I got on that for right now, you guys. But I will be watching this because I don't know. I think I was kind of busy today, so I haven't caught anything new yet. But I'm quite sure by the time I come up off of here or by the time I was on here or this morning, something else. I'm not done with these guys. because uh, that dude is relentless. He's not gonna stop. Not going to stop, people. Uh-uh. So, I'm gonna move on from that. Um, like I said, I wanted to speak a little bit on. No, I'm gonna save that. Oh wait, I think it's kind of premature, and I don't want to fall into the on the bandwagon of everybody else jumping out there on something that's not all the way 100% proven. And the people that's involved is known for pulling stunts like this to make people think that things going one way when it's really not, and everybody looks stupid when it's all said up. So I'm not gonna speak on that. I'm gonna save that for another time. So I'm gonna jump right into my people. Another goofy of the moment has been crowned to a brand new brother. Oh, I gotta keep being brothers. I mean, but I see, some other people of other races, doing some goofy things. I can start giving out that. But I don't know if I'm not paying enough attention to most. I mean, our president has said and done a couple of things lately that has um, probably given him credence to be crowned the goofy moment. But this is just an honorable mention. But right now, he's not there for me. But he always say something. So I said, give me a week. He probably gonna be a victim. I don't want to say a victim, a recipient of the award, right? So the goofy of the moment is Ray J. That's right, people. Ray to the MFN J. What is wrong with this dude? What is wrong with this dude? Ray J is on camera, on audio. He's out with the female he's doing the streaming show with or whatever. That I guess I don't. Anyway, the dude said some goofy ish that everybody heard. I know y'all all heard talking about Puff got his behind so wide open, more wide open than there's ever been. Like, and he's screaming this out of the street, right? This is some goofy, y'all. Goofy, man. What's wrong with people, man? Like, come on, y'all. I know he said controversy sells, and it does. But to what extent, man? How far are we gonna go for views? How far are we gonna go for clicks? You would scream that out as a grown man. You got children, man. You somebody's son. Like, you somebody's brother, man, uncle. You're a father, bro. And you gonna say that I don't care if it was a joke, whatever. You don't say that. As a grown man about another grown man, you don't say that. I don't even care if you're a part of that community. They don't even scream ish out like that, man. You don't do that, man. And then saying it with such vigor, like, and poise, like, he had my soul wide open and da more than I. Like, what are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? He's been a goofy for a while, man. And I kind of try to stray away from him, but he's constantly doing something, man. That keeps you talking about that's just so ridiculous and over the top. Like, this is just the dumbest, goofiest thing that you could ever do. You the goofiest dude on the planet right now, man. I don't care what nobody said. That's neither here nor there. Nobody's more goofy right now in this moment than Ray J. Yes, you do. Goofy of the moment. Reigning king. Wow. Just don't believe you, man. What is my brother? What is wrong? What does this come to? You got? But grown men screaming out, other grown men got their behinds so wide open. Like that was something to say. He said that like, oh, shock value. Yeah, well, you got this award. We crowning you, Goofy, of the moment. This has been another Enski's Opinion. Your gracious, humble host. This is the show about everything and nothing at all, you guys. Where we have conversations on daily topics, events, things that's going on in our world, you know? This little third rock from the sun, you know, they call planet Earth. I am out. Enski's Opinion. Peace.